this weekend is for me the big game. There will be a lot of say in terms of who eventually ends up winning the league and who might probably end up in the top four, because Manchester United is traveling all the way to the Emirates Stadium to take on Arsenal, the league leaders who have surprised everybody this season. Arsenal have been brilliant. Arsenal's mentality, Arsenal's approach to games this season has been nothing short but excellent. You cannot fault Arsenal, you cannot fault Arteta. United are on some form of renaissance. They beat Manchester City at Old Trafford, all be a lot of controversial decisions that we've gone into and all of that. That's on another side. But I think that their mentality going to that game was awesome. They're on an amazing run of form in the league. Almost 10 games, they are yet to lose a single game or even drop point. Almost every single player is playing at optimum level. Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford. You can say same for what is it called, Casemiro, but this is the Casemiro we've known, so there's nothing new. But even Luke Shaw, who played as centre back against City, has been brilliant. Wan-Bissaka himself. So every single department there seemed to be an improvement. Arguably, it's about the two best sides in the Premier League. Come Sunday, 4:30. Let's start with the approach to this game. You expect that United will be a bit more defensive, or they will still go at Arsenal, be attacking? I don't think that Arsenal will be defensive, especially when they are playing at the Emirates Stadium. Let's look at this game.
Now, if you take United and Arsenal, it used to be a very, very big game, one of the biggest games in England when it was the Ferguson and the Wenger era, until you had the lives of Chelsea coming in and City coming in. So it is still a big. It's good that we've had the United Arsenal coming back. United Arsenal of 2002. You have Vieira and Keane fighting on the field, and Van Nistelrooy and Henry. I am glad that whole euphoria is coming back. Now, this is a United that is unlike any United in the past 10 years post Ferguson. This is a United that goes into big games without sitting back, because if you check United's game versus Liverpool, whom they beat, City, whom they beat, even Tottenham, United has never and ever sat deep. Even when they were playing against City and they conceded first, the usual United, City scores first. It's a done deal. But they still opened up the game and decided to press on to score.
Expect them to be very attacking.
Playing against Arsenal, you see, one thing that would always make a United versus Arsenal an exciting game, or United versus Arsenal, for United to take the game to them, is the mentality that the players of United take, that United is bigger than Arsenal on all fronts. So going against Arsenal, who are league leaders, irrespective of the way they play, we were expecting that Arsenal, after the injury to Gabriel Jesus, was probably going to bring the whole attacking down after scoring about 5 goals and about 5 assists. But now that Eddie Nketiah came in, it's like nothing has really changed. And the goals are not necessarily coming from Eddie Nketiah alone. Martinelli is still on form. You can get Odegaard, who is still on form. Saka is still scoring. So they are not so much or solely dependent on their centre forward. And United should see Arsenal as any other, because if you're talking about attacking, although Arsenal is leading, City are the most attacking team in the league. And you play against City head on without defending, you are expecting that going against Arsenal, it's a matter of sitting back, because United does not sit back anymore. They even have a defensive midfielder in the shape of Casemiro who drives forward. So going against Arsenal, I'm not expecting United to change anything. You don't change a winning team. You don't change a winning plan, because before there was Ten Hag coming in. If you take Mourinho, whenever he was playing any other team, Mourinho will play in the normal. But when he gets to City, then he will sit back. That was what was happening. Even when you had Ole was doing the same. Was sit back, press on the counter, score 1 or 2, and sit back. But when you take ETH, irrespective of the team, like he said, errors come to an end. And he doesn't necessarily give any respect to any team, because if you are talking about the biggest team in England, it is arguably United and Liverpool. So coming into this game, United have a centre forward or should I say an attack, because Rashford sometimes plays centre forward or whatever, who is in the form of his life. You don't expect to draw back. You have Anthony sometimes, because against City, he decided to drop Anthony and rather bring in Bruno Fernandes to play on the wings, so that he would play Martial, what do you call it, and he would play Eriksen as the number 10. That was what he did. I am sure, based on the results that came in, maybe Anthony might not start, so there will be Bruno Fernandes probably on the right, Rashford on the left, Martial, who is here to pick from, in front, and maybe you have Eriksen. But the reason why he could afford to play Casemiro and Fred is that Casemiro, even as a defensive midfielder, he is not the conventional, or should I say the orthodox one who gets the ball and locates a good passer. He sees himself as a good passer. So even after intercepting the ball, he looks up. So even as a defensive midfielder, he can still search forward. So even he's able to play Casemiro and Fred in the midfield. And the funny thing is that you have Maguire, who is still on the bench, and Luke Shaw playing as a centre back. He's in the form of his life. So United, I am not expecting United to defend in this game.
Okay, so this is how I expect the two teams to approach this game. Before then, let me put out some interesting numbers out there. United in their last 5 games have not lost a single game. They've won all their last 5 games. They beat Wolves away. They beat them by a goal to nil. They beat Bournemouth by 3-0. They beat Everton by 3-1. Then they beat Charlton by 3-0. They beat City by 2-1. Arsenal, on the other hand, went away to beat Spurs, and they beat Spurs away. They also beat Oxford City away 3-0. They drew with Newcastle 0-0 at the Emirates. Surprising results there. Then they beat Brighton, who have been on amazing form, by 4-2. Then they also beat West Ham by 3-1. Arsenal are ranked second in terms of goals scored per game. They are averaging 2.3 goals per game. Arsenal are literally averaging 3 goals per game. Yeah. You look at United's last 5 games as well. United are also averaging 3 goals per game. Arsenal are ranked first in terms of away performance. Not even City, not even United. They are ranked second in terms of home performance. Clearly, every single matrix, it favors Arsenal. Or United, on the other hand, are ranked 9th in terms of goals scored per game, 1.6. They are not really scoring a lot in terms of, if you on the average. But if you put everything together, United in the last 6, 7, 8 games, they are averaging 3 goals per game. Like I just put out, they are averaging 3 goals per game. That's very good for Manchester United. Now, United are ranked 3rd in terms of big chances created. So far, they've created 40 big chances in the 19 games that United have played. They are ranked 3rd. Clearly, they are creating a lot of chances, but they are not putting the ball at the back of the net. Bruno Fernandes is ranked 3rd in terms of big chances created, 12 so far. Now, like you said, I think that both teams will approach this game with an attacking mindset. Let me take you from the Arsenal perspective. We know how Arsenal play. When Arsenal have the ball, their positional and transitional play has been excellent. Yeah. And I watched them against Tottenham Hotspur, how they transition from defense to attack. The swiftness with which they pass the ball is what has made Arsenal very, very unique this season. Teams would want to take time and build up play, but Arsenal do not do that, because their position on the pitch is excellent. That's why I talked about their positional play. The ability to move the ball from defense to attack. Arsenal would just take about 3-4 touches. They end up in your defensive zone. That's what happened in the game against Tottenham Hotspur. That is what I'm expecting them to do against Manchester United. Be very quick in transition. If they decide to slow the game down, it would affect their play, because how Zinchenko and Ben White literally tuck into the midfield when the likes of Granit Xhaka go forward, join Thomas Partey to become a midfield of 3, whilst the attacking players of Xhaka, Odegaard, Edin Katia, Martinelli and Bukayo Saka literally play a 2-3-5 formation when Arsenal are in possession. That's the reason why they've looked very, very dangerous, and they've scored a lot of goals. They're averaging 2.3 goals per season, because they have a lot of men in the box. 5. Not even City does that. And this is one thing that I feel Arteta has literally been able to design out of this team. Because when they have the ball, what the fullbacks do is that the fullbacks join the midfield so that Xhaka can move forward. In order, when they lose the ball, they do not fall short in terms of having enough men in the middle of the park. Because sometimes you see Thomas Partey as well join the attack. So there's always Zinchenko and Ben White or whoever decides to play at right back join attacking in the midfield. Literally, they become inverted midfielders, and you have your usual back line of Saliba and Gabriel pushing for literally becoming the liberals in the team. So Arsenal have a perfect formation that has worked for them this season, and I do not expect them to change. I do not expect them to try and tweak anything. As they say, if it is not broken, you do not fix it. I expect them to move the ball quick and excellent as they've done so well. The man that would make the difference has always been Thomas Partey this season. For me, he's the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League this season. Which I bet to differ. You may probably say Casemiro, but I think that it's Thomas Partey. Take Partey out of this Arsenal team, and he makes this Arsenal team tick so well. His ability to combine defense and attack, his ability to pick out those blind spot passes, that's how I choose to call them, is excellent. United, on the other hand, for me, they do not have to change anything. It's been the usual 4-2-3-1 formation, like you said, in either Casemiro playing with Fred or Casemiro playing with Scott McTominay. But whoever it is, he's going to play two defensive midfielders with three attacking men behind either Rashford or Martial. However he decides to shuffle his side, that would mean that when they lose possession, it would automatically become a 5-4-1. Because the two midfielders will move back and try to join the defense as well. Then you always have that sole striker try to be there. In Marcus Rashford, we saw that against City, explore the pace. It's going to be an interesting game. Before we move on, your prediction, who is this?
My prediction is going to be
United 2-1. Arsenal against
2-1 for United.
Okay, I know where he's coming from. But I think that listen, at the momentum Arsenal are on, and I've watched Arsenal play. These two sides are
it's good because they are on the momentum.
I expect them to draw this game. I don't think that any of these sides.
It won't be a stalemate.
I'm having my personal interest, so I expect them to be a draw game. But if there's going to be a win in this game, it's going to go for Arsenal. What do you also think? Want to see want to hear your views and see your views in the comment section. Engage us in the comment section. More importantly, subscribe to Sport 101. Like our videos. Click the subscription button. So guys, we're shooting at Calendars event located at the Harbour area. Listen, if you want the best place for your event, for your wedding occasions, your wedding parties, your birthday parties, this is the place to be. Amazing scenery. They're just close to the beach, so expect that you have an amazing weather, but their food is also excellent. They have one of the best pizzas in the western region, especially in Takoradi. So hey, if you find yourself in Takoradi over the weekend and you need a place to hang out with the family, with friends, with loved ones, the place to be is Calendars Events located in Takoradi at the Harbour area.